Welcome back to the news at 10. The International Rescue Committee says it will support efforts by the Nigerian government in tackling the humanitarian crisis in the northeast. The committee, which is on a fact-finding mission to Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, has been talking with the state governor Kashim Shettima on the issue. The Rescue Committee says it's interested in complementing the government's efforts by providing an avenue for persons displaced by the insurgency to live normal lives again.
Nearly 2 million persons displaced from their homes by the Boko Haram insurgency are now living in Maiduguri, the capital city of Borno State. While most of them live in makeshift camps, a good number prefer to live with relatives in the host community. Their plight has continued to attract the attention of humanitarian organizations. The International Rescue Committee team, led by its president, David Miliband, and the Irish ambassador to Nigeria, are the latest guests of the Borno state government. They are here to support efforts to rehabilitate the displaced persons.
We understand that the role of the international humanitarian sector is to support local people and to support the efforts that are being taken by local leaders to bring back normality to this part of the world. We are determined to play our role in helping those who have been displaced from their homes make a voluntary and effective and sustainable return to their homes and to restore dignity to them when they do return. In that sense, we hope that we can provide a bridge from the emergency that exists to the development that you seek to lead.
The governor is asking the humanitarian organizations to begin to channel their intervention programs towards women and girls whom he said are most vulnerable in conflict situations.
I believe we are in a unique opportunity to really empower our people, re-engineer our society, and most especially issues of gender empowerment.
Let's take a look at some business news now. Here's Harriet Agbenyu.
You first. First Bank.
Welcome to Business News. The Supreme Court has adjourned till March 8, 2016, the suit filed by the 36 states against the federal government over the maintenance of the excess crude account and the transfer of $1 billion from the account to the Sovereign Wealth Fund. The governors are also seeking an order declaring the creation of the Sovereign Wealth Fund illegal and unconstitutional. At the resumed hearing, counsel to the federal government, Wale Olanikpekun and Austin Allegas Chambers, informed the court that a new Attorney General of the Federation had just resumed and will need time to study the case file for necessary actions. While adjourning the suit, Chief Justice of Nigeria, Mahmood Mohammed, urged the parties to resolve the matter out of court before the next adjourned date, or the court will go into full trial. The Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN, has held its third valedictory lecture in Lagos. The speaker, who is the outgoing Group Chief Executive Officer of First Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Olabisi Onosonya, describes his tenure with the bank as remarkable. Our correspondent, Bolaji Akinwale, has more in this report.
Outgoing Group Chief Executive Officer of First Bank of Nigeria PLC, Mr. Olabisi Onosonya, and officials of the bank arriving for the third valedictory lecture of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. The valedictory lecture is in honor of Mr. Onosonya, who has had over 30 years of experience in the industry and served as CEO of First Bank for 6 years from 2009 to 2015.
From the proliferation of banks in the 1980s through the consolidation exercise in 2006, we have seen the banking space grow smaller.
President, Chairman of Council.
The chief host of the event, who is also the President and Chairman of Council of CIBN, Mrs. Debola Oshibogun, highlighted some of the contributions of Mr. Olabisi Onosonya to the Institute.
Shortly upon assumption of office as the Group Managing Director, Chief Executive in the year 2009, he joined the Governing Council of the Institute from 2010 to 2012.
And the incoming Group CEO of First Bank, Mr. Adesola Adedunton, is optimistic of a brighter and fulfilling tenure.
The bank has a rich cultural and history. The current management will work very closely with him. So our mandate is to take the bank to the next level. We are very clear in the strategy we want to pursue. We will be very diligent and very ruthless. And we think we have what it takes to take the bank to the next level.
Mr. Olabisi Onosonya joined First Bank of Nigeria in 1994 and held several positions. Under his leadership, First Bank experienced various levels of transformation. And as he retires from the bank, the management team say they are ready to move the bank to the next stage of transformation. Bolaji Akinwale for Channels Television News.
Well, a hearty congratulations to Mr. Onosonya. Nigerian equities pulled back today after a three-day uptrend on the back of profit-taking off market bellwethers in the banking, industrial and consumer goods sectors. Bolaji Akinwale also reports that the all-share index shed 1.08% to end the session at 27,533.03.
Welcome to the Stock Market Report. The all-share index reversed the previous day's gains by dropping by 1.08% to close at 27,533.03. The market's capitalization closed at 9.46 trillion naira. Leading the gainers pack is Mobil, which closed at 132 naira 41 kobo. Unilever stood at 45 naira 50 kobo, while Guinness closed at 124 naira 90 kobo per share. On the decliners chart, 40 oil closed at 235 naira 90 kobo. It was followed by Nigeria Brewers with 113 naira and WAPCO with 90 naira 1 kobo. Meanwhile, Multiverse recorded the highest volume of shares at 146.1 million. Guinea Insurance raked in 127.1, while UBA had 27.5 million shares. In total, investors traded 485 million shares for 4.45 billion naira in 2,785 deals. And that's a wrap on the day's figures. I am Bolaji Akinwale.
Most of the markets we track here on Business News are also looking pretty red. Let's take a look. And that's it on Business News. The rest of the news at 10 continues in just a moment.
You first. First Bank.
First City Monument Bank has donated a multi-purpose student centre to the Pan-Atlantic University in Lagos. The FCMB Student Centre is a facility dedicated to the recreation and socialisation of students in a conducive environment aimed at encouraging research and learning.
One of the lecture rooms at the Pan-Atlantic University in Lagos. It's a special day for the students, as the man at the lecturer stand is the Group Managing Director and CEO of First City Monument Bank, Mr. Ladi Balogun. He's here for a special event but starts by giving the undergraduates some insights into how to thrive in the workplace after graduation.
I think to succeed in the workplace, and you need to develop this skill from a young age, even from now, be critical, not in a way that is putting people down or offensive or anything like that, but ask people, why is it this way?
After this, everyone moves to the center of attraction for the two-part commissioning of the FCMB Student Center donated to the Pan-Atlantic University.
We felt that ensuring that we can provide them with a nice environment to socialize near their hostels, and also an environment that gives them basic amenities in terms of shopping and retail services, as well as basic banking services in this location that is somewhat remote from obviously the heart of Lagos, was important. So this support was really our bit to support the university, to invest in our future, which is the youth.
A university needs like a center of social life. In fact, it's a very important aspect of the education of students that they have this ability to interact. Let's be sincere, at the end of the day, students probably learn as much from each other as they learn from us, the teachers.
There has to be a partnership between private sector and government to provide the kind of education our children need. You know, the mantra of the government is to make Lagos work for all. And for Lagos to work for all, that means definitely education is very critical. So we haven't doubt in our mind that government must partner with private sector. And this is a celebration of that kind of partnership.
For the Pan-Atlantic University, the FCMB Student Center, located within the school campus along Lekki-Ekpe Expressway, is one of the milestones of the university in its quest to form competent professionals.
And in a quest to play a bigger role in Nigeria's energy industry, Ladol Nigeria Limited has sought after professionals with business integrity to handle its advisory board. The board, inaugurated in Lagos, will work to sustain the success of Ladol through right implementation of policies and recommended frameworks.
The meeting is a brief one, but with concert prospect for Ladol. It's the inauguration of the advisory board of the indigenous oil and gas company in Nigeria. Breaking forth and sustaining the desired growth is all Ladol wants to achieve. Hence the need for professionals of repute.
Oil and gas available still in some abundance in Nigeria. We have the opportunity to do this, and as I said, it's often said that necessity is the mother of invention. And now that we really have no choice, by doing the right thing, we would not only make up. As a matter of fact, ideally, we should not even export crude oil in its raw form. If we export at all, we should export refined products.
People have looked at the sector with deep suspicion. There are international banks which are very wary of operating here because they're worried about whether there is a sufficiently strong framework against corruption, etc. So, I anticipate that this is a sector which is going to see major reform during the Buhari administration, and one can only welcome that.
Despite the slumping oil price globally, Ladol believes with the local content hovering between 10 to 15%, and with the right decisions and policies backing up the oil and gas industry, the sector will sustain momentum.
Because it's no use saying you've got $10 billion of foreign direct investment if only 500 million of that, less than 10% of it stays. So we have this framework legislation which is supposed to encourage indigenous companies like Ladol, which demonstrates capacity and personnel, to be the favored contractors in the oil and gas sector. So
we have regulators that are supposed to enforce local content, but they have not done so in the past.
In all, the need for improved technical capacity building and personnel, plus the state of infrastructure, it is believed, will push the oil and gas sector, mainly in the hands of the private sector, back to success.
Still ahead on the news at 10, coach Samson Siasia is confident of Olympic ticket as Dream Team 6 takes on Senegal on Wednesday. And that's Beyond Sports. Please stay with us.